So you reckon that if Ojukwu were alive today,
Yes.
he will be saying to Nnamdi Kanu, that's not the way to go?
Ojukwu may not say so to Nnamdi Kanu for the simple reason that Ojukwu and I believe every right-thinking person should also take into consideration the fact that every citizen, every adult citizen is entitled to his or her own point of view. So that if Nnamdi Kanu believes that Biafra should be a separate country, that is a point of view.
Because that would have been consistent with what Ojukwu believed and did in the late 60s.
The circumstances, I keep referring you to the situation at the time.
Situation changed.
Yes. So when situations change, so people can shift ideologically. So that's the point, that what we're dealing with today is not so much about where Mr. A or Mr. B stands on these issues, but the right and freedom of people to agitate for whatever they want, so long as they do it within the law. So it's not a question of where do I stand. Basically, it's a matter of what rights are we entitled to as citizens of Nigeria, and how are those rights protected under the law?
So you don't agree with the way Nnamdi Kanu is playing the politics of Biafra today, but you believe he has a right to his position, to hold his position. Is that correct?
That's the point I'm making, that he has the right to hold his views and to agitate for separation. Then I have the right to say, well, I think I need to look at this differently. It is what we need to do is to ensure at all times that we uphold individual rights and freedoms. That's the bottom line.
Okay. Now, this is relevant to this conversation. You said in page 197. Let me read what you wrote here. President Buhari has his own issues with the Igbo. He becomes irritated when confronted with issues relating to Igbo marginalization or Biafra. I also have to read that immediately after that you did say that Buhari has a certain authenticity that can help to achieve genuine national reconciliation if he so desires. You then wrote after, in page 108, you said, a significant number of the Igbo diaspora do not believe that Nigeria is redeemable. They believe in Biafra and are funding the process that could lead to its realization. I believe that Nigeria is redeemable if we fight for its liberation from the clutches of agents of centralization.
Yes.
Okay, stay with me, sir. I was just curious. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you now wrote in page 200, one of the reasons Obasanjo becomes very irritated over the current Biafra agitation, aside of the Civil War victor mentality, is that he knows very well that it sprouted on his watch. Okay, so you said Buhari gets agitated when it comes to the issue of Igbo. You said Obasanjo gets agitated when it comes to the issue of Biafra. Do you believe that Buhari and Obasanjo are agents of centralization? Is that your take on those leaders, that they push for a strong central government? Agents of centralization.
Yeah, agents of centralization are basically people who, by their training, military officers who get into government and they only understand command and control. And then their own idea, of Nigeria is Nigeria that is controlled from the center, from Abuja. Okay. Now, that is the problem. Obasanjo, General Obasanjo, General Buhari, General Babangida, all the generals, who have, one time or the other been in office in Nigeria, they all belong to that school of thought. They are basically, they believe in centralization as a policy.
That's what you meant by agents of centralization.
Now, the point is this. Nigeria was founded, you know, the way Nigeria was founded, the whole idea was to create a federal state. That was the vision of the founding fathers who laid the foundation for Nigeria. Now, the military guys, you know, came in from Gowon, in Aguiyi-Ironsi, Gowon, the military, forget about their ethnic background. Okay? Now, so it is the inability of the military class to interpret their own vision, which is clearly a unitary vision. They have been unable to interpret it to Nigerians. That failure is, you know, basically at the root of the confusion and crisis we face as a country. Yes, so that is it. So my thesis is clear. So if we rescue Nigeria from the grip of these agents of centralization, Nigeria will be a better place. And so when people begin to interpret it, what restructuring means to them, you know, whatever way you look at it, the overarching point, the most important point, is that, you know, we must return to the original vision, you know, of federalism, you know, upon which this country, you know, was formed. What we have been experiencing is a distortion, and it's compounded by the inability of those who seek to distort it to even properly, you know, interpret their own vision. They don't seem to even be clear, you know, how their own idea of central command control system will work. They failed.
Thank you very much. It's been a nice time with you here, reviewing your book, The Politics of Biafra and the Future of Nigeria. Thank you. Congratulations on your book.
Thank you, Kunle. Thank you very much.
Some time ago, while reviewing two books with Professor Wole Soyinka, we asked him what he thought about today's agitation for a separate state called Biafra. Here's how he responded.
I wrote an article, I remember at the time, during the war, and I said, Biafra cannot be defeated. People misunderstood what I was saying. I'm saying that once an idea has taken hold, you cannot destroy that idea. You may destroy the people, the carriers of that idea on the battlefield. Yes, this is known. But ultimately, it's not the end of the story. Otherwise, the Scots would not have gone recently through a process of trying to detach themselves from Great Britain, old as that democracy is. And yet that was taking place in the United Kingdom. So let's not take this position of don't even talk it. Under my watch, this will never happen. Don't say things like that. Go into that environment and ask, what is it that we can do to make you content, to make you happy, to make you feel part of this entity. There's no need. These are the advantages of staying. Listen to some other Biafrans and ask them why they want to stay. This is what we are ready to push as the overall governance authority in this area. But don't go around saying the sovereignty of this nation is indivisible, is non-negotiable. All that kind of language, for me, it only makes matters worse.
I hope you have enjoyed today's show. As always, please send us your feedback through any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. I am Olakunle Kasumo. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.